From your local news leader and the Spirit of Community Award winner, this is NBC 10 News at 5.
Hello and thank you for spending your weekend with me. I'm Chelsea Jones. At least one person is still missing after a horrifying building collapse in New Orleans. Crews suspended their search overnight as concerns grew over the building's structural integrity. And as David Daniel reports, special equipment was brought in to assist in the recovery.
Clouds of debris filled the streets Saturday.
Get to the back.
A building under construction collapsed in New Orleans. 2 people were killed. The search for a third victim resumed Sunday.
We have teams that are currently making entry as we speak.
Concerns over the building's integrity delayed rescue efforts.
It's not safe right now. It's not stable. The area is unstable.
To stabilize the structure, authorities brought in a massive crane, disassembled and transported overnight from a construction site nearly 100 miles away.
Our original estimate on getting a crane here of that size was 2 weeks. We got it here in less than 24 hours.
112 people were working inside when the structure collapsed, officials said. 30 people were transported to hospitals for their injuries. New Orleans mayor spoke with one of the victims after they underwent surgery Saturday.
He was an employee on the job, on the 8th floor. Happened very fast, and he is in the best of spirits that he could be in.
Recovery crews will go in to retrieve any remaining victims, but officials said parts of the building are too dangerous to access without stabilization.
Life safety is always our #1 priority.
I'm David Daniel reporting.
Such tough news. A woman shot to death by police after they were called to check on her house. The shooting sparking protests tonight. Here's NBC's Kathy Park with that report.
Just released body cam footage shows the moments leading up to a deadly shooting. A Fort Worth police officer is seen walking around the outside of a home, shining a flashlight on the walls and windows for closer inspection. He stops, points his flashlight at a window, and draws his gun.
Put your hands up. Show me your hands.
Fort Worth police issued a statement saying the officer perceived a threat, drew his weapon, and fired one shot, striking 28-year-old Tatiana Jefferson. Police say they entered to provide first aid and also found a firearm in the home. Jefferson died at the scene.
15 minutes later, I heard a loud noise, and I saw 5 or 10 police officers surrounding the house. And I don't know what happened on the inside of the house. All I know is my neighbor is dead.
James Smith said he called a non-emergency number out of concern for his neighbor. All the lights in her home were on and doors opened. Smith believes she might still be alive if he never dialed for help.
If you don't feel safe with the police department, then who do you feel safe with? Do you just ignore crime or ignore something that's not right?
The unidentified officer, who has been with the department since April 2018, is now on administrative leave. Tonight, Jefferson's sister devastated.
I just don't understand, these are men that's trained. What kind of training is that?
NBC 10 is your local election headquarters, and we had a jam-packed night for all the big races across the state and here in the local area. We're going to start tonight with election recap with the governor's race, and we will have to wait until November to see if one of the few Democratic leaders in southern states will get to keep his seat. Louisiana held a primary, and after all the votes were tallied, Democratic Governor John Bel Edwards easily won the state, but he failed to get more than 50% of the vote required to win outright. So Edwards will face businessman Eddie Rispone in a runoff for the governor's seat. Republican Congressman Ralph Abraham threw his support behind Rispone last night in an attempt to consolidate the Republican vote after failing to get enough votes for himself. Now we're going to get into the local races. We had a lot of coverage for you, and if you missed it, here are the local races for you. Now this is District 20. Kevin Bates and Neil Reiser will be heading to a runoff. Both Republican candidates, Reiser secured 47% of the vote, while Bates walked away with 37%. Now we reached out to both candidates to see what they had to say, and here it is.
people are crying out and they're screaming. They're tired of the career politicians. I plan on ultimately winning this race, and I will be a representative because I already am. That's the job and the work that I do now today as a pastor.
We also reached out to Neil Reiser's camp, and we're still waiting to hear back, and hopefully we'll have that for you tonight. And another race heading for a runoff is representative for District 21, which is now between Democratic Representative Travis Johnson and Independent Glenn McLaughlin. Johnson walking away with 44% of the vote, and McLaughlin taking home 23%. Now, we caught up with Johnson this afternoon, and he says he wants to take the constituents to the 21st century.
Support the Second Amendment. I stand strong on less taxes. I'm fighting for each and every person, all people, and I'm the most well-rounded candidate in a race. And again, I'm fighting for the future and not the past.
And of course, we also reached out to Glenn McLaughlin's camp, and we hope to hear back from him this evening, and we'll provide you with that update. Now, District 15 is now also down to 2 Republicans, Foy Gadberry and Justin Tidwell. Gadberry securing 38% of the vote, and Tidwell right behind with 30%. Here's what the two say is next on the agenda as they head to November's election.
I'm going to take a few days off and rest, and then get back on the campaign trail and meet more people, talk with more people before November 16th.
I appreciate all the people that came out and voted for me. Thank you to all my supporters that got out and held signs. Also want to show my appreciation to Drake Graves and to Ryan Reed. They're fantastic guys, and I appreciate their support as well.
Now let's take a look at some of the outright winners from last night. Democratic Fred Jones, he took it all home for District 16. He got 50% of the vote, and he says the community had his back.
I'm doing what they wanted me to do, that I'm going to be there for them, that they understand that I'm the candidate that they want, that they understand my platform, they understand that I'm going to do everything I can on behalf of District 16 to make sure that they're taken care of and that they can trust me and that I will not let them down.
And another outright win, Democrat Jay Leno took it all the way home, getting 61% of the vote. He will serve as the senator for the 29th Senatorial District. We've reached out to Comic, and we hope to have that for you later in our newscast at 10. Well, Republican Glenn Womack, he also won it all, elected as the state senator representing District 32. He beat out 3 other candidates, and we spoke with him this afternoon, and he says he plans to focus on many things like jobs and education, but most of all, he wants to thank those that trusted him to select him for this position.
Thank you so much for your support and confidence that you put in me as your next state senator. And we together can make a difference.
We will have a lot more election coverage for you after the break, and we'll take an in-depth look on some of those local races tonight at 10. But let's check in with Brian for that weather. It's been a couple chilly days for us here in Arklamass.
As we start the upcoming week, we're watching a couple systems that could bring the threat of heavy rain and even the possibility of severe weather. We'll time out those details coming up when NBC 10 News at 5 continues.
Good evening from the Iranian capital,
Lester Holt.
It's a rare and fascinating look inside this country.
Asking the questions you would ask.
Are you worried about an accidental war?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. If you see news happening, call the NBC 10 News hotline to send us your video or post it on our Facebook page.
Because what happens in your community matters to us at NBC 10.
NBC 10 News Hotline, your local news leader.
We are Floorworks Flooring America here in West Monroe on Cypress Street. We would love to help you know what's going to work best with your budget as well as your lifestyle. Please come and see us for any of your flooring, countertop, and decorating needs.
For more expert advice, log on to myarklamiss.com.
I was running errands on a Saturday. I was in a car wreck.
I just got off the night shift when I got in a wreck.
It
was a Sunday when I called Morris Bart, and he got me $115,000.
Injured in a car wreck on the weekend? I have attorneys standing by ready to help you now.
Hi, I'm Ken with Ken's Coffee Service. We've been offering filtered water coolers to local businesses for 18 years. Now, due to popular demand, we're offering this service for residential use, featuring the countertop and standing version of my most popular cooler, which filter out the chlorine, color, and odor in your municipal water. This cooler also provides unlimited cold filtered water. There's no contract and no cost for installation. Call Ken's Coffee Service today, 361-0035.
Call Creed & Creed today. We're your local injury attorneys.
Yesterday was an exciting night for many who ran for a spot on the Ouachita Parish Police Jury. And as your local election headquarters, NBC 10's Maya Hudgens talked to all the winners and the two who will be in the runoff on what the next 4 years will look like.
After months of campaigning, it's finally come to an end.
Hallelujah.
3 of the 6 jurors are returning for another term in Ouachita Parish. Police Juror District A, B, and E were the incumbent candidates.
To win an election is a big thing, but to be reelected without opposition, I'm flattered. I'm very appreciative of the voters, and I'm going to keep working hard.
We're trying to represent 158,000 people in Ouachita Parish to the best of our ability.
Each police juror has a list of challenges they want to focus on in their districts.
Of course, there's Shinny Lake. We're desperately trying to get our funding from Baton Rouge, and it looks like we're going to get it. They're saying next year. We're trying to pull it back to this year. Nobody wants water in that lake more than I do.
Being able to do something that has an impact on the community, similar to flood mitigation and to the infrastructure and helping with economic development, those are certainly some things that, I really feel very, very, very close to.
For the new jurors coming in, they are excited to work together and make a change for all Ouachita Parish.
I know that I'll be able to work along the other jurors, that we can be collaborative, not just in my district, but I also want to work in other districts so that we can get not just things done in my district, but other districts as well.
The race isn't over for 2 candidates. District F is in a runoff. Roland Edwards wasn't able to return our calls, but Lonnie Hudson says he plans to continue his hard work.
You know, we have our seniors we have to look out of. We have to make sure that our future, which is our children, we got to set that precedent to let them know, hey, we're here. We supporting each other. This is what it's all about.
In Ouachita Parish, Maya Hudgens, NBC 10, your local news leader.
Busy. What do you have to tell us about this weather, though? Bad news.
Well, it's going to get wet as we start this upcoming week, and even possibly some severe weather by the time we get to next weekend. We'll time out those details coming up when NBC 10 News at 5 continues.
Step into your future and explore exciting job opportunities at the 52nd Annual Lonnie Smith Career and Athletics Fair, Thursday, October 24th from 1 till 5 in the Frederick C. Hopde Assembly Center at Grambling State University.
It was a Friday night, and I'd just gotten off work when an 18-wheeler emerged right in front of me. Even though it was the weekend, I called Morris Bart.
Injured in a car wreck on the weekend? Don't wait until Monday. I have attorneys standing by ready to help you now.
Afraid you owe too much on your car? Afraid of past credit problems? Afraid you'll need a big down payment?
Do not be afraid. It's Interstate's monster of a sale. A Ram 1500 Crew Cab, $12,000 off. A heavy-duty Crew 4x4, $8,000 off. A 1500 Quad Cab, $22,990. Charger, $22,990. A Cherokee, $18,990. A Cherokee, $17,990. A Renegade, $16,990. Get monster savings now at Interstate Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in West Monroe.
You're not holding it by the legs, are you?
No, I'm not.
Gorilla Glue.
Of course. Gorilla Glue is incredibly strong and versatile, even outdoors, for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Wimpy trash bags? Come on.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
Hey, ladies. Buy Hefty Ultra Strong at a low price.
Dada.
I wish.
Get Hefty Ultra Strong. Costs less than Glad Force Flex were sold head-to-head.
It was a Saturday morning. While I was sitting at a red light, bam, someone ran right into the back of me. I made that one call on a Saturday, and Morris Bart got me $270,000.
Injured in a car wreck on the weekend? Don't wait until Monday. One call, that's all.
On average, 35 children die each year from being left in unattended vehicles. Stop. Look before you lock and help save precious lives like this one.
Brought to you locally by Gordon McKernan, Injury Attorneys. Get it done.
Creed & Creed is all you need. Call 387-5800.
Live Storm Tracker Doppler radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young. Now, your local weather with meteorologist Brian Briggs.
Well, good Sunday to you. Hopefully you had a wonderful day today despite the cloud cover and kind of some off and on shower activity. Right now, a lot of that is wrapped up and we're left with some clouds outside. This is looking off towards the southwest here on our tower cam. You can see that we do have some thick clouds around, keeping it a little bit chilly. We've seen the chilly temperatures around for the last couple days or so. A little bit at 65 degrees. Dew point is still holding at 48, so it is dry still relatively. It's a little bit actually more moist than we were yesterday. Our dew points were actually in the 20s and 30s. Temperatures, depending on where you've seen the cloud cover, it looks like southern Arkansas has seen a lot more. They're seeing temperatures in the 50s up that way. A little bit warmer off towards the south, and we're even seeing some mid-70s down in Alexandria. So yeah, that warm air is there. It's just kind of lurking off to the south there. It will be moving into the Arklamis by the time we get into tomorrow, and especially for Tuesday. Live Storm Tracker Doppler radar brought to you by Orem Young, showing a little bit of shower activity. Again, just kind of exiting the southern Arkansas region. Remainder of us, though, we are all dry. We did see some of those showers this morning as a little weak disturbance moved through, kind of along a plume of moisture here that we're seeing on our satellite and radar combination. And but kind of look at the bigger picture here. We have a couple frontal boundaries and systems off towards the northwest. Look at this plume of moisture off towards the southwest here. That is coming in from the Pacific Ocean, and those two are going to kind of collide right over portions of the southern plains and even the Arklamis. And it is going to get messy here as we start the upcoming week. Future Tracker has been showing showers and thunderstorms for quite a bit of Tuesday here, but now it's starting to pick up on maybe a little bit more activity. So most of Monday should be starting off dry. And then by the time we get to the afternoon hours, that's when we'll start to see those showers and thunderstorms developing. They'll start to increase in coverage as we go through the evening into the overnight hours. So this is getting close to midnight on Tuesday. Look at this, just waves of showers and thunderstorms as we go through Tuesday morning, especially Tuesday morning, looking like especially focused on northern Louisiana, maybe part of southern Arkansas, but looking like along the I-20 corridor, looking very, very wet and stormy as we go through the first half of Tuesday. And look at this, it continues even into Tuesday afternoon. So more showers and thunderstorms will be possible through the course of the day. Yeah, we're getting into 4 o'clock now on Tuesday. You're still seeing those heavy bands of red and yellow there on the map. And even as we get into Tuesday night, here's the final push with that cold front. We'll see kind of a warm front, cold front combination. The warm front will lift northward, and then the cold front comes sweeping in, and we could see some pretty impressive rain totals over the next 48 hours or so. So look at that. Future Tracker wants to paint over 5 inches of rain in Ruston, here about 3.5 inches in the Twin Cities. So flooding possibly a concern here as we go into Monday to Tuesday. Make sure if you see water, turn around, don't drown, and just don't try to cross those flooded roadways. So for tonight, again, just going to be kind of chilly. For tomorrow, a little bit warmer, more humid, and then we'll see those storms starting off in the afternoon. And then Tuesday, heavy rain looking possible to likely. And so just be safe out there. Some dry days for Wednesday, Thursday to Friday. And then we're watching the possibility of maybe severe weather with the next system by the time we get to next weekend. A lot of details up in the air with that, but we'll keep you updated as we get closer to that time.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Well, sports is up next. Keep it right here on NBC 10 News at 5.
The Animal House is your local pet store. Cypress Street, West Monroe.
Spooky low prices, scary low financing, a monstrous selection of new Hyundais.
It's all here at Interstate Hyundai Wing. A Santa Fe, $23,880. A Tucson, $21,880. A Kona, $19,880. A Sonata, $18,880. A Veloster, $16,880. An Elantra, $15,880. And an Accent, just $12,880. Shop at InterstateHyundai.com. No tricky deals here. It's Hyundai Wing, where it doesn't take a big payday to buy it Interstate Hyundai in West Monroe.
Severe weather can hit at any time of day or night. Be safe and prepared with the KTVE KARD weather app for Apple and Android. Brought to you by Sam Henry, the bankruptcy attorney.
Come into Longhorn Steakhouse for steakhouse cuts, like our one-of-a-kind 14-ounce Delmonico. Expertly crafted, fire-grilled, seasoned just right. With a steak this impressive, you won't think you're in a steak house. You'll think you're in a steak mansion. Hurry in for Longhorn Steakhouse cuts, the mouth-watering New York strip, always popular Flo's Filet, and the limited-time 14-ounce Delmonico. That's how steak is done. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
With the all-new Silverado HD, Silverado's now the only truck brand that can offer trucks with best-in-class towing or trucks with best-in-class camera technology. or larger, more functional beds than any competitor. The only truck that can compare to a Silverado is another Silverado. Or get a total value of over $9,500 on this Silverado with a larger, more functional bed than any competitor. Or during truck month, make no monthly payments for 90 days. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
It was a Sunday and we were driving home from church when a truck ran a red light and hit us. I made that one call on a Sunday and Morris Bart got me $168,000.
Injured in a car wreck on the weekend? Don't wait until Monday. One call, that's all.
Your local sports.
The Saints are still undefeated under the supervision of Teddy Bridgewater, but could they keep it that way? Things started off very slow for the Saints. They couldn't get anything to drop their way, but going to the fourth quarter is this. A couple of kicks after that. This is the only score of the game. Jared Cook again. Last week, had his first touchdown. This week, he got his second. That's the only score they had in the entire game, just a couple of kicks. But the most important thing out this game is Bridgewater, keeping his head above water, again, with the help from Saints defense, and they will go on to win this matchup 13-6. Yes, Bridgewater is still undefeated. Grambling coming off a win against JSU and Jackson last week. Could they make it too? They handed off to their running back right after they come out the gate. Keelan Elder, who would take it to the red zone all the way down the field. This man was on a man mission tonight, well, yesterday. And the next play, right up the middle, he will score. Elder with his first touchdown. Put him up 6, score 7-0. In the third quarter, Alabama A&M strikes back on the right sideline for a 69-yard touchdown. And now the Tigers are down 3. But here comes the Tigers as they strike back. Late touchdown in the fourth, just 2 minutes by Jakari Nichols. Now, they need one stop to seal the deal, and this fumble coming up would do it for them. Fumble picks up by Kobe Foster, returned for 46 yards. That will seal the deal for the Tigers as they go on to win their second in a row, 23-10, putting them at 4th in the SWAC. Louisiana Tech back in action on yesterday after being off last week, and you can tell they were excited because on the first defensive drive, they get this, a pick 6. Amik Robertson, 42 yards, and that was just the appetizer. Now time for the serving. Tech's first offensive drive, Jay Marr hands it off to probably the player of the game yesterday, Justin Henderson, takes it to the house for 74 yards. Woo! I couldn't catch this man on skates. He was gone. And here is Henderson again, just 4 yards out this time. The Bulldogs scored 28 points in the first quarter. And, of course, this was an early blowout, 69-21. And on top of that, Jamar Smith goes in the record books, passes Terry Bradshaw and Gene Johnson for most career passing touchdowns. Congrats to that man. Number 5, LSU, and number 7, Florida. A big matchup yesterday in college football. In the first quarter, Clyde Edwards busted right up the seam from the 34-yard line all the way down to the red zone. What a run. Now, Burrow to Jamar Chase. Right out the gate, 9:55 left in the first. But Florida would mark their territory right after that one. And Trevon Grimes right from Tyler Trask. Burrow drops back on this play, another dart into the middle to Jefferson, and he will march it all the way down to the 20-yard line. Burrow will score right after this play. They'll be up 14-7. But the Tigers were tired of playing and said, hey, take this for data. Jamar Chase again, 54 yards. LSU beats Florida 42-28.
There was no pressure the entire night. I didn't feel pressured a single time, let alone the sacks. I made a couple bad protection calls, which might have been the only reason that I had ever been pressured tonight. But, I mean, hats off to those guys. I'm so proud of them. I mean, I'm really excited about where we're going. We have a chance to be really special.
ULM taking on Texas State, who are just 2-3 on the season. The Warhawks looking to add another loss to their season, and they start in the right direction. Caleb Evans connects to Lamb, and it wouldn't stop there. Johnson pushes it in for an easy 6 points, putting ULM on top. It worked the first time. Why not? Let's go right back to it. Right back to Johnson, who will put it right up the right sideline to score again for the Warhawks. Head coach Matt Viator excited about his team's play this week. That's all we have for sports. We'll be right back.
Shop and experience historic downtown West Monroe.
Stay informed with the Business and Consumer Report on NBC 10 News today.
Featuring big business and consumer stories that affect us right here in the Arklamis.
Tomorrow at 5 on NBC 10 News Today. Sponsored by Goldman Equipment.
First 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available on the next generation 2019 GMC Sierra. Step up to GMC and get over $10,000 total value on this next generation 2019 Sierra Crew Cab SLT. Plus, well-qualified buyers get 3.8% APR financing for 72 months.
See your Monroe area GMC dealer. A win on Sunday night could change everything. The only question is who wants it more. Steelers, Chargers, all eyes on Sunday Night Football.
An innocent girl is dead.
A crowd driven to violence by hate.
Is it safe to say you dislike black people?
I am encouraging the First Amendment.
They should yank you out that box. You're a disgrace to this nation.
Love City Law, Monday on NBC.
One morning, I slipped and fell from the stairs. That's when I broke my leg. And I had to sleep down here for a good while, and I didn't like it. So quick as I could, I didn't tell them, but I got on that thing and I went upstairs to my regular bed. And I use that stair lift all the time. Put the seat belt on, as you say. If I'm going up, I mash the up button. If I'm coming down, I mash the down button. It's so easy to use.
Fast Serve Medical, West Monroe, Bossier.
Hey folks, Will Shelby here at Sparks Nissan and Kia with another lineup of hot deals. All these for $199 down and $199 a month, like this 2014 Ford Escape. We also have a 2015 Nissan Altima with leather and a roof. And how about a 2014 Chevy Silverado Extended Cab? And help us help the kids at St. Francis Medical Center. Purchase your 2 cars, 2 winners raffle ticket at stfran.com or right here at Sparks Nissan and Kia.
Chances of rain as we go through the 7-day forecast. One's to start off the work week and could bring some heavy rain with that possibly. And then dry for Wednesday, Thursday into Friday with more showers and storms possible by next weekend, some of which could possibly be severe. So we're keeping an eye on that.
Thanks, Brian. And a quick correction before we go. We reported just a few minutes ago that Frederick Jones run the District 16. In fact, it's going to be a runoff between him and Darryl Berry. But again, we'll have full election recap for you tonight at 10, so make sure you tune in.